Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday morning. Welcome to Twisted Tragedies, where we follow all the twists and turns. I am your host, Elise. And wowza for yesterday. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you already haven't. Make sure you share the video. If you'd like to donate to the show, this is how you do so at the bottom of the screen. Right now, I have the big one and the little one up. I'm going to pull the big one down, but all of the information on the big one on how to donate to the channel, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal is all at the bottom ticker below where my name is. We only survive from donations from our viewers. We don't have the super chats and super stickers and all that fun stuff because, FK are so fun. They like to attack my channel. So that's how we survive over here, and I very well appreciate it. Hit that like button for me. Let me change the bubble. Thank you, StreamYard, for always being a douche nozzle about that. It doesn't set to where I want the bubble set, like literally, for some godforsaken reason, and I didn't have a ton of chance this morning to do a bunch of stuff. I'm still trying to find the clip. I didn't have a ton of time last night to find it. When Hank talks about the seatbelt, I know it's there, and I will find it. I don't think so, because they can still use Natalie if they need to, Crow with an eagle eye, if they want, for consciousness of guilt. She was the intermediary, and she is on the witness list. So I don't really think that affects that much. They still very much have a ton of consciousness of guilt if they want to use it. So I don't think that's really going to be an issue, but we'll see. I am going to advise everybody that today's show is not going to be as long as it usually is, because I have to attempt to go Easter shopping, and Ashley so kindly is going to come get me and bring me so that I can attempt to do Easter shopping for my kids. I don't have a car, so it's hard for me to get places, and I'm on a very strict budget. So it's going to be shorter. I'm sorry. Let me move my chair a little bit. It's going to be shorter than it normally is, and I apologize. Tomorrow I'll make up for it a little bit tomorrow on tomorrow's show, but it's going to be shorter than it normally is because I have to make sure that I can get the shopping done and get home before my little one gets off the bus. So bear with me today, y'all. Yeah, the Easter bunny. I don't know about you guys, but speaking of Easter, before we get into all of the case stuff, I don't know if any of you parents out there do the same thing I do, but every year for Easter for my kids, I make bunny prints with powder from the door to where their Easter baskets are. It's something that my grandma used to do, and my grandmother pretty much raised me until I was in foster care. So she was like my mom, And so I remember some of those being some of the best memories when I was a kid was, knowing that Santa Claus had come because his boot prints are on the floor, because she would use my grandfather's boots and make Santa's boot prints, right? And so same with the Easter bunny. So to make Easter bunny prints from the door to where you hippity hoppity put your baskets, you know what I mean? So I don't know what you guys do when it comes to stuff like that for your kiddos, but I would love to hear it because I'm a sucker for do-it-yourself sort of things for the kids. I will say that this is going to be our first holiday, first big holiday in the new place where the kids actually have a yard. And I'm probably more excited than they are to have an enormous yard for them to do an enormous Easter egg hunt. Like, I'm probably like a little kid more excited than even they are to just do a giant Easter egg hunt. Thank you, Walmart, for they had a box I bought like a month and a half ago, like when they first started coming out with Easter stuff, like almost 2 months ago. They had a box of 250 eggs for $11. And I was like, yeah, I'll buy those. And I've had them stashed away since then. So because there's so much space outside in the yard, I want them to find Easter eggs everywhere, just Easter eggs all over the place. I do one small Easter egg hunt in the morning when they wake up inside the house. And then we do a bigger one, when your friends' kids or your just your kids or the neighborhood kids. And I also got like glow sticks a couple years ago that I never used. They're like egg glow sticks. They're like this big and they go inside the eggs. So this year they're going to get a double Easter egg hunt, and I am going to put the little glow sticks in the Easter eggs at nighttime, and they can run around the yard and get the glowing Easter eggs. I think that's going to be fun. That'll be a first time for me and for them, and I think they'll have a blast. I might not be rich, I might be poor, but I always figure out something fun for these children to do. Like, you know, listen, you know what we do for the teenagers? We put the kids' initials on the eggs so that they get an even amount of eggs. But for the older kids, we put dollar bills and change and like pieces of paper with like different things that we bought throughout like the couple months period that like teenagers would like. You know, like it'll say a piece of paper inside that'll say, you know, like you can go to Five Below and get like a gaming headset holder, like holds the headset for like $7, like gaming headset holder inside the egg, and then they can go upstairs and get it when they're done. So you can make it fun even for teens. Believe me, done it. Been there, done it. Oh, a jelly bean trail. Yeah, see, you know what I'm saying? Squishies. Like I don't know about you guys. I don't just do candy in my Easter eggs. We did stickers, squishies, you know, those like noodle things, like you can stretch their like fidget things and noodle. We got those, but they look like caterpillars because they have like, you know, the little ones on it too. So it's caterpillar, except it's got a bunny head with bunny ears. And so those are inside the eggs. We got bouncy balls, we got keychains. And I've been buying them like small amounts over the last like 2 months from Temu. Thank you, Temu. Literally the same stuff you would get on Amazon, just cheaper, and you have to wait a little longer because I realized I didn't have enough bouncy balls and I bought a set on Amazon and they were more money, but and I literally mean the exact same thing. Like, yep, the grow washcloths from the Dollar Tree, like literally we put in those eggs. And if there's something that's too big, you could just get the bigger size eggs. We got like a set of like 20 of the bigger size eggs so that like anything that was oddly shaped or a little bit too big for the smaller eggs, you can put in the bigger eggs, you know? Like me too. I love doing goodie bags. I also do hand like I DIY make like labels for like candy bars and chip bags and stuff that I did for my daughter's birthday party. Like I stayed up all night just finishing all that stuff. And I have labels for Pringles cans, Hershey Kisses, or like little stickers that you stick on the bottom and you punch them out. Like, listen, you figure it out when you have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you figure it out. Oh, but you know what? Just because we're not kids anymore doesn't mean we can't have that kind of fun. When I had the money, I used to get one of those giant Easter eggs from the Dollar Tree. And I would go hide that in the yard for my husband. And I would just put like a gift card and like a t-shirt, like, you know what I'm saying? Stuff. Right. I would go hide it, obviously much harder than the kids, but I would hide it for him in the yard. You can have adult Easter egg hunts. There are ways to do that too. There are like pieces of paper you can put inside. It's all sorts of ways to do fun stuff. Adults can have fun too. Okay. Listen, I'm just a people person. I don't consider myself any sort of hero. I am just a people person and I happen to like people. Not all people are great, as we know, as we've seen through this trial. There are some real shitty people involved in all this, you know? Like, unfortunately. But yeah, exactly. You could do like they have them at Five Below, right? Little buds. You can do all sorts of stuff. Hold on. Sorry, I'm like trying to do of course, per usual, trying to do 500 things at once. He just said how now I do baskets for my granddaughters and I don't really do a ton of candy. I do a little bit of candy, but I also do like fruit snacks because my little likes fruit snacks. You know, I try to get like other things other than like filling it with candy. I do the basic things that like I got as a kid that I remember, which is like the little egg carton of like gum. Remember the little egg carton? And then the big egg carton that has like the chocolate marshmallow eggs. And then I usually get like one bunny. Usually my kids like the Fruity Pebbles bunnies. Have you guys ever seen those? The Fruity Pebbles bunnies? All of my kids like the Fruity Pebbles bunny chocolate that come out every year. So I do that. And then that's about it. Like I don't do a ton of candy. They get the candy and the eggs, you know? So I just get other things that they can use and play with, especially my little. She's got to have stuff to do. You know what I mean? Like she's one of those kids that like she'll get something and open it and like do the whole thing right there. So I mean, outside of like what I like to try to do is get her like something else for her Barbies. You know what I mean? Like she's got like a little grill that she got for Christmas for her Barbies. And now I got to figure out they have like little chairs, like little, you know, beach chairs. Like I gotta find those. They're usually like $8 or something for a set of two of them. So like, you know, I try to get her something to go along with the sets of things that she has. Like she keeps asking for like a Barbie kitchen that has like a refrigerator and stuff. Like, so like, you know what I mean? Like I try to get like little things that will like come together over all the holidays, which have one big set, you know, because it'll keep her busy. It'll keep her busy. Good morning. So, right? All Barbie needs is Hank Brennan for a doll. I know, right? Isn't that funny? So, we do know, though, that Bev was supposed to, let's see if she did. She was supposed to give a answer on one of yesterday's. It's telling me I'm live. Gee, thanks. Thank you very much, Twitter. I'm very well aware. Um, hmm. Let's see. Sorry. Let's see. Yeah, just an FYI for anybody who already didn't know. Um, the Altman is obsessed with me, and I don't know why. I don't even acknowledge her existence. Because I think she's just a hateful, angry troll that has nothing better to do with her life but sit there and try to demean or insult other people. And she's very obsessed with certain people, including me, who never even responds to her because she's an idiot. But people send me screenshots of like shit she says, like just for future notice. I don't give a shit. Like I don't give a shit. She can say whatever the hell she wants. She says nonsense. She talks nonsense. Like she can make herself look like an idiot as much as she wants. She can also continue to cyber stalk and criminally harass people using an online platform because that is a crime. And I've also asked her numerous times to stop tagging me because that's unwanted contact. That's a crime. That's called stalking and cyber stalking. But I mean, if she wants to continue on doing it, that's at her own peril. She can choose to do that and deal with the legal ramifications. But just for future reference, I don't really give a shit what she says. I have her blocked for a reason. She's just obsessed with me. Just don't ask me why. No fucking idea. It's because I call out the sewer turtle, and you know, anybody who does that, she doesn't like it. She doesn't like it at all. Like, right? Like, dude, lady, I'm not interested. Sorry. Like, yeah, either that or Kim. She's obsessed with Kim too. Like, but I don't even acknowledge that she exists because like what's the point? You're a very angry person. You need therapy, lady. Like you're very angry, you're very unhappy with yourself because insecure people act that way. Very insecure people choose to demean and insult and talk shit. And she also just spreads rumors and lies. It's just like, lady, you have a lot to say about a lot of other people. Didn't you get like a DUI in your 40s? Like, why don't you take a step back, take a damn good look in the mirror and get a therapist? Like, you know? Because most people don't sit there and just demean, insult, and talk shit about people 24/7 online in their 40s or 50s. I mean, it's kind of like a waste of time. Like, why do it? What's the point? What is the point exactly? For people like her, it's to make herself feel better, even for a millisecond. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's almost like she's married to the turd, where it's like, God forbid anybody say anything to him, or here comes the clearly unmedicated psychopath that just says whatever. Like, I mean, I can recommend her a good therapist if she wants one. It's virtual. She doesn't even have to leave her house. Like, but I mean, damn, dude. Like, maybe find something better to do with your time other than demeaning people, insulting people, and spreading lies. It's like, I really don't understand, like, why. So, hold on a second, guys. I'm trying to read your comments, and like the wire to the webcam is like in the way, but I don't, but it's tipping my, it's tipping my camera. What the hell? God damn it. If I put it too far, here, let me try it this way. All right, that's a little better. All right, we'll do it that way. Um, Rewatch yesterday. Aiden's attorney really didn't want him to take the fifth personally, trying to leave the room to claim he didn't want to say it or didn't say it himself. See, that's the thing, is that's why Hank wanted him to get up there and plead it on the record. Because until you do, it's just a threat. It's just a threat saying that you will plead the fifth. It means nothing until you actually have to do it. It's that simple. But he did have to get up there and tell the judge that he's going to plead the fifth. So he asserted his Fifth Amendment, right? Like Jolly said, I read the order re-ARCA yesterday. Am I reading it right? Did the judge allow defense to do more testing as long as they could put the Commonwealth on? No. Yes. Yes, they did. And that part done pissed me the hell off. Also, from what I'm reading on it, and I mean, I'm sure other people have read this, but let me pull it up real quick because I was a little confused as to why certain people were saying certain things that didn't really make sense with it. Hold on. All right. You know, X doesn't always make things easy to get nowadays. The search button is like not what it used to be. You used to be able to search anything under any word, you know? No, I don't think so. That his option to do the fifth was really yesterday. And that's what he wanted. I mean, here's the thing though. I promise you that if the sewer turtle decides he's going to get on his live show or anywhere else, and you guys should keep an eye out for this because I do not watch him. But if he decides to get on his live show or anywhere else and claim that he did not plead the fifth, well, then Hank will have to bring that back into the court. And then Your Honor will make him do it in open court in front of everybody, plead the fifth. Because at that point, you're saying like you only said it to say it, right? Like you didn't actually plead the fifth. So if he claims that he didn't plead the fifth, that is when he will be dragged right back into court and he will have to do it in open court, which he probably will, like, because he's that dumb. I don't understand why she would be allowing them to continue on with any other testing. They should have to stick with what they already had, what they already testified to, what their report is as of whatever. Hank's right. The defense did not have to wait for ARCA at all. Did not have to wait, not even a little. Like, let's see. So we have, it kind of like, I save things and then I forget where I saved it sometimes because I have so much saved. Oh my God. So FYI, guys, by the way, Julie Grant also posted on this issue, and she said, pleads the fifth. Defendant Aiden Kearney, aka Turtle Boy, invokes his Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination to any questions in defendant Karen Reed's homicide case. He is the only witness to do so. Just let's let that sink in. He is the only witness to plead the fifth. The only one. Wonder who has something to hide. Well, definitely can't be. Can't be. Okay, so this is what it says. All right. I'll read it to you guys. Hank's anger is justified. Morning, Anna. Absolutely justified. 100% justified. I'd be pissed if I was him too, especially with the judge not like giving them way too much leeway. If this was any other judge, they would have had to do what they already had with Arca. No more. Like, you don't get more. The title of his stream left, owned. Sir, you're too afraid to answer questions to incriminate yourself. What exactly about that would be owning Hank Brennan? You absolute fucking genius. Like, I just want to point out that, like, even when the man was thrown in jail, he claimed it a win. So, like, no matter what happens, he's going to magically claim everything as some giant win. Let's just remember that, okay? I'm sorry, you guys. I need new contacts desperately, especially in this eye. I may be wearing my glasses tomorrow, just an FYI. Thank you. They're backwards right now because I didn't mirror my stream, but thank you. I appreciate it. But this contact is bothering my eye a little bit. So I don't know if it's because they're dry or what, but I need new contacts. Just another expensive expense, unfortunately. I mean, to be fair, I get a pretty good deal on my contacts because my eye doctor is my also a friend of the family. So, I mean, I pay like $30 for 3 pairs. All right. So, wait, my signs aren't backwards for you guys? Are they not backwards for you guys? You guys can see these not backwards? They should be backwards. I can see them backwards. And I didn't hit the mirror button, so I don't know. Yeah, he had to tell Bev he was going to use his Fifth Amendment. Oh, it's not backwards to you guys. That's interesting. Now I know. Right? I inverted the video. I hit Evans. That's it. Exactly. Exactly, Barb. Him and Karen are the only 2 people who won't testify. He is the only person who has asserted their Fifth Amendment privilege. Why is that? Oh, again. Bree said, I'm enjoying the turtle fuckers do not seem to know that to get that, he had to tell Bev everything he would be found guilty of if he testified. She had to find it true. Well, that's the thing. He had to assert his Fifth Amendment privilege and why it would incriminate him. So he probably told the judge, like, well, it would incriminate me in these ways. And so, yes, I would assert my Fifth Amendment privilege. The problem with that is if I was Hank Brennan, I don't give a shit. I would keep pushing to have him plead the fifth to every goddamn question I was going to ask. Sorry, not sorry. Like, that might not apply to all of the questions. Well, that's the thing. Now, basically, is admitted, and your court can't use it against him, of course. As we know, that's how the Fifth Amendment works. The court cannot use the fact that he pleaded the fifth against him, although it can be used against him in civil cases. Let's just throw that out there, okay? Can be used against him in civil cases. But it can't be used against him because he pleaded the fifth. But we're not the court, right? We are not the court. So pleading the fifth means that you're hiding criminal things that you could potentially, by answering those questions, get charged with a crime. Like, he didn't have to plead it in open court. You realize that, right? He asserted his Fifth Amendment. He didn't have to do it in open court. The judge found that he was asserting his Fifth Amendment. So that's what happened. Doesn't matter whether he pleaded it at sidebar. And it's not to prejudice future juries because there's no jury in there for him. This isn't his case. And to be fair, most people are made to do it out in public, regardless of whether it would prejudice future juries or not. Most of them are made to do it right there in public in front of everyone. If I was Hank, I would have pushed for that. Like, didn't have to be in open court to plead it. He pled it, but the bottom line is most people have to plead the fifth in open court. It's that simple. He should have had to do the same thing. If he wants to assert that privilege, cool, let him, but also let him do it in front of everyone. He is the only one that made some giant stink about pleading the fifth for anybody else in any other court case. Let's just remember that, okay? Maybe if he didn't sit there and say that if Jen McCabe or the Alberts or anybody, if any of those people pled the fifth, then clearly they would have something to hide and they would be criminals and we would know they were lying, right? Because you wouldn't plead the fifth unless you were hiding criminal actions, right? That's right. He said that, right? Yep, he sure did. So I guess that means that we apply that logic right back to him, no? No? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we'll apply that logic right back to him. I don't think he's gonna like it, though. No updates? God damn it. They need to, they done pissed me off yesterday with that question. Like, it was an easy answer. Like, that, you know, it just makes me feel like they're not doing their due diligence. It just does at this point. Like, yeah, a lot of us don't, for our sanity and mental health, because I can't sit there and listen to someone lie 24/7. It just doesn't really make sense, you know? Oh, my allergies. Rules for thee, not for me. Exactly. Exactly, Anna. Exactly. I mean, I agree with you, Nelson. I agree with you. Like, that's exactly what she was doing when she asked Brennan, does he have a reason to take the fifth? Like, yeah, he's got a reason to take the fifth, I guess. He's a criminal. So, I mean, he's committed a bunch of crimes and probably doesn't want to be charged with more, although I do believe he probably will be by the end of all of this. Yeah, I don't agree with this. I just don't agree with the way the judge allowed that. They could have hired anyone. Didn't have to be Arca. They had plenty of time to hire someone else this time around. They chose not to, and they chose to wait for Arca. Sorry, not sorry, but we all saw this coming from a mile away. Even the judge should have at this point. It's a fucking game to them. It's a way to delay. You know what I mean? Like, I know, right? Plead the fifth. They'll never plead the fifth. Why? Because they have nothing to hide, nothing to criminalize. You know what I'm saying? So there's no reason for them. They've testified numerous times already, and they will testify again. And that's what I find so funny is he made such a big stink about if anybody else had pled the fifth, and then never imagined that his dumbass would have to go and plead the fifth. Like, just saying. Just saying. Freak said, I've finally gone and grabbed all the YouTube transcripts for the law and crime. Can't replay it. Any words used around when the seatbelt was mentioned. Oh, that's a good idea. Damn it. His name, of course, Mr. O'Keefe. He said Mr. O'Keefe took his seatbelt off. And I can't remember. Other people say that he mentioned the time of 12:31 specifically, but I don't remember the time. I just remember him saying that he took his seatbelt off, but he did say Mr. O'Keefe. Not that that's really super helpful considering how many times they probably say that in one fucking hearing, but I mean, it's a start, I guess, you know? Right. I hate the answer, that's for sure. Too bad. They're gonna have to spend the next 7 days on a computer. We're trying to find the clip of when Hank talks about when John takes his seatbelt off. I remember watching it. I remember thinking exactly what I was thinking when I was watching it, but I can't find it. Okay, so I don't know, but someone told me this morning that Boston Mike and whoever were trashing a bunch of Turtle people, Karen Reed people, FKR people. Apparently a bunch of them were being trashed by Boston Mike, and Tom was sitting silently or wasn't really saying much. I have no idea. I don't watch Tom. But it's just like them to eat their own. They get jealous or upset, and there they go. You know what I mean? Like, actually, some water. So Bree said, OT the Rico bullshit in PA in the Sebastian Rogers case was tossed by the judge on an anti-slap ruling. If you guys don't know what anti-slap is, I'll tell you in a second. The Delco 2 are free, and that is what happens when truly innocent women are framed. So anti-slap is something that is used when someone basically files something frivolous or something to try to like get back. You can file anti-slap in a motion for that, which basically says that this person did it on bad faith, and that they're going to have to pay the court costs and fees that and any other fees like emotional harm, blah blah blah, whatever, that they're going to have to pay that if the court finds that it was in bad faith. There was no reason for it, really, no real legal reason for it. That if it was retaliation or, they made shit up, whatever. Like anti-slap can be used like that. So it's very smart to use anti-slap depending on what you're using it on. Also, speaking of things like that, guess who called the turtle a turd this morning? Wendy. Wendy did. Wendy was on Julie Grant's show this morning, and she said she couldn't say what she really wanted to say about him, so she called him a turd. Hilarious. Thank you, Wendy. We all appreciate you very much. I did tell her that we all appreciate her and we give her thanks because I probably would have just called him a giant, huge piece of shit. Not on Julie's show, but because I respect her too much. But that was hilarious. She called him a turd, and thank you, Wendy, for that. Right. Well, that's the thing, right? ARCA had plenty of time to do what they want to do to what other testing would they be doing? Here's the thing. If they were actually doing any real testing, right, that did anything, then it would debunk their original theory. So I'd love to see what their new testing consists of, because ultimately, if it debunks their original theory, which it will and should, then one of two things happens. Hank can use that against the defense, or B, if they continue on with saying this ridiculous theory that clearly didn't happen, and they do this new testing that forces, like, they're going to have to take pieces of evidence out to say how it got there, how it didn't get there, in order to get to their false assertions. So Hank will just take that apart piece by piece. So it's like, I don't know why the judge would allow that. They already have a report written. Make them use the report they already have. They don't get to do more testing and more this and more that on the eve of trial, because just like Hank said, it prejudices the Commonwealth. How can the Commonwealth get another expert to look over all of that and debunk it in that short period of time? Their expert might have already testified. You can't change the once you've started, you now can't change the order in which you have your witnesses, and maybe you needed to change the order. There are so many things like that screws the Commonwealth for, and you bet your ass that she wouldn't allow Hank Brennan to do that. Let's just remember that. Did they say time and place? I don't know. It's a good question. I don't remember if they said time and place. I have an AI trained only on the first trial transcripts. No, yeah, we're looking for the ones for the hearing. There were last couple hearings. It was in one of the last couple of hearings, or last couple, it was before jury selection, definitely. Yeah, it was definitely before jury selection. Like, that's true. Furman, yeah. Yeah, sequestered would severely harm his ability to make money. He only makes money on one case? You're a journalist, sir. You only make money on one case? I mean, I've done many cases on my channel. I know we mostly do this case because this case is the one that's like happening right now. But I've done many other cases. So can't you do another case and make money? Or is that like nobody finds you interesting if you don't do something else? Just saying. Like, he's not a true crime person. That's why. I'm a true crime channel. He is not. He can't go back to Ratchet Madness, like doing stupid shit like that, because then abandon ship they go, like Freak's my tech person, and I wish I had a tech person here in the US, because as Freak pointed out, I could have somebody sort of upgrade my RAM on my laptop, make it go a little smoother. But I don't have a tech person around, unfortunately. I have some tech people who are not from here that I ask how to do stuff. Thank God for you guys. Thank God. I don't know. Still trying to figure that one out, Carolyn. Where the hell did David Yannetti go yesterday? Like, where's fucking Waldo? Where did David Yannetti go? Yeah, but I think we tried that and it's not coming up, Anna. So it might be that the transcripts didn't pick up the word seatbelt. Here's the thing. I remember Hank being like further away from the microphone. So he wasn't like right on top of it when he said it. So that might be why the transcript didn't pick it up. Like, he is a convenient idiot. You got it. You have it right there, Nelson. He's a convenient idiot. Like, yeah, she was. Like, wonder why he didn't say much. I mean, I don't know what they're eating each other about. Does anybody know what it was about? Like, why? What are they saying? Like, what's their problem? Like, they're mad probably because, ST gets to sit in with the Reed family mob because she donates a ton of money. So, she will turn on him in a heartbeat if she can get her sentence reduced. Oh, yeah, absolutely she would. 100% she would. If there was a way to reduce her sentence by turning on him, just like that, she would. Just like that. Like, morning, Allie. I know. Thank you, Wendy. Selective litigation against public participation. They were just sued to shut them up. Exactly. And that's happening to Lindsay right now. The sewer turtle is trying to sue her to just shut her up about his bad deeds. And that's literally exactly what's happening to her. Victims don't get to be sued to be shut up. That's not the way it works. We love Julie. I often will send her a quick message and tell her, like, you rocked today. Awesome. Thank you. You are the best. I love Julie. She's a very nice person too. If you get to know her like as a human, she's a very nice person. Outside of TV, I mean. I love that you guys know how to do this, Maestro. Yeah, Vinny, he's been crossed off my list of people to watch. I never really watched him that much anyway. I found some of his stuff to be a little disingenuous. But there were certain things that I would watch when it came to him, and I will not watch him anymore. Like, yeah, you guys might have to pick each other's brains. You guys are both brilliant when it comes to that stuff. Like, yeah, see, some people did used to like him. Grant got all excited yesterday when Murder by Maestro noticed that Alessi was holding what appeared to be a map with GPS data. Interesting. SMK, plead the fifth, means that you're taking your Fifth Amendment privilege to not answer questions because the questions that you could answer could basically, you could be charged if you talk about things that could implicate you in a crime or give you some sort of criminal intent. So basically he's saying he cannot answer those questions because it could implicate him in a crime, and therefore he takes his right to shut the fuck up and not answer questions that would incriminate him. It could make an incriminating statements, incriminating answers. And so he takes his Fifth Amendment, which says I'm not going to testify to things that could incriminate me. That's what the fifth is. So you have the right to not incriminate yourself. And so if he answers Hank's questions, he could incriminate himself and be charged with another crime. I don't think he realizes he'd probably be charged with it whether he testified or not. Mark Furman has done interviews saying his post-LA detective career has been more profitable than if he was still a cop. Yeah, I'm sure people like EDB who did that whole article on how she quit being a lawyer to do YouTube because she makes more money on YouTube. It's just fucking insane to me. Like, absolutely insane. Yeah, we will have to find somebody local to me because I do not have any local techies right now. My brother is a techie, but he's not local. He lives in Florida. So I honestly want to know where are all of this. Like, first of all, we're missing emails and text messages, and Hank is being very precise about that. We are missing things that would show the communications between ARCA and the defense, period. We know that there are more. They exist. The defense is saying they don't. Well, guess what? ARCA is going to have to produce them now. Like, he was fired for unfiltered opinions about a cop killer. Yeah, it's basically your constitutional right to, like, shut the fuck up, basically. Sort of. Like, She might have been made in a lab, SMK. Search John got out of Lexus. Maybe they could have said, like, when he got out of the, I can't remember if they said, like, I remember them saying it about the seatbelt, like, you know? Oh my God. Yes, Karen. Yes. Say it again for the people in the back. Yes, it is draining. It is draining. Like, people need to be able to go back to a normal life, you know? And yes, arguing with them is like talking to a fucking brick wall, literally. I mean, I'm not going to say that there aren't some people that are smart and that know, like, you know, that they're starting to ask questions, because I have met quite a few people, especially recently, who are starting to ask questions when it comes to this case. And they're starting to be like, hold on, wait a second. Like, we need to figure out, okay, what's going on here. We've heard all this stuff for so long from that side. And for some reason, they're all just finding me and they're starting to listen and saying, like, I'm getting emails, I'm getting DMs of people saying, like, hey, like, I thought she was innocent until, I listened to you and I found some things after you told me to go look for them on your show, and now I have some questions. Like, so thank you for being honest, because now that I've able to go look at things myself that I didn't do before, I definitely have some questions as to some things that I think were not told to me. Like, so I mean, that's a good thing. You know what I mean? That is a good thing. That's a very good thing. Like, I feel like as long as people are getting the truth, then that's important to me, Like, so it's not that the Fifth opened the door to civil suits, it's that it won't help him in civil suits. They can use that in a civil suit and say, well, Your Honor, in this case, when it came to witness intimidation, he pled the Fifth in his right to not incriminate himself. And in a civil suit, it's not the same as a criminal case. In a civil suit, that can be used. So it's not going to help him when he's civilly sued into oblivion. And trust me when I say he is going to be sued into oblivion. Like, me too, Jen. I am still trying to figure out why. Why did Gennady leave? Where did he go? Like, where's fucking Waldo? Where did Yannetti go? In the middle of a sidebar. He didn't even wait until the sidebar was over. Like, in the middle of the sidebar, he came, packed up, and left, and then they finished the sidebar. That was a little strange to me. A little strange. Like, I mean, he definitely pled the Fifth because he knew it would incriminate him. That's 100%. He absolutely knew it would incriminate him. And his only option there is to plead the Fifth. But I think the cherry on top of it is that he also gets to be in the courtroom and cover it and make money. So there's two things. Yes, he would have incriminated himself. Abso-fucking-lutely, he would have. 100%. But on top of that, now he gets to be in the courtroom and make money. And yes, that's his other sort of MO, You go, girl. You unpack them groceries. Don't let anything go bad while we're here. Totally welcome. You are totally welcome. Yeah, there's so many, Maestro, so many. And we've been looking for 2 days for that clip. I have to find it. I know it exists. I heard it with my own ears. Like, I don't know, SMK. Her husband's a doctor, so probably not, It's possible that he had another hearing. But the weird thing that I find is that they also wanted Victoria George to hold licenses as a co-counsel for the out-of-state attorneys. That's not necessary. Gennady doesn't have to be there to hold their licenses as Pro Hoc Vice. So why would you need to add Victoria George? That's what doesn't make sense to me. That's what doesn't make sense. Yeah, he's a surgeon. But that's what doesn't make sense. Like, is why would you need Victoria George to be holding the licenses when Gennady doesn't even have to be there for him to hold their, Pro Hoc Vice licenses? Doesn't have to be with them every time they're in court. So why does Victoria George need to be added? It just doesn't make sense. The only way this makes sense, there's two things, right? Two things in my brain that make sense. One is Gennady is stepping out at some point on this. Okay. But even if he's not her attorney, his firm, because Victoria George works for his firm. So that's still strange. So either he's leaving this case at some point And that's why. But again, she still works for his firm. So that's the weird part, right? Like, morning, darling. Good morning. So it could be Yanetti's done, or it could have just been a PR stunt. But I mean, no, this was before. So they filed this before they went into court. So the filing was before they went into court, that they wanted Victoria George to hold the Pro Hoc VJ licenses for the out-of-state attorneys. So for me, there's two reasons you would do that. One is just to stir the pot, realistically, because it says that he will remain head counsel and she would be co-counsel. So it doesn't say that he would be leaving. So what would any other of the, you know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't really make much sense to me. Like, I thought he would distance himself a long time ago. If he was smart, he would have. Clearly, it's not as smart as I thought he might be, you know? Like, well, that's the thing. The only thing about that is timing, Ashley, right? Timing. If it was a family emergency, why would you file that day to have Victoria George hold the Pro Hoc VJ licenses for the other attorneys? If you're going to stay as head counsel and she's just going to be co-counsel, then why would you even need Victoria George? You only need one attorney to hold those licenses. So it doesn't really make sense to me. Good morning. Good morning. Perhaps one reason they brought Victoria George onto the team was because she could hold the mass license for the other lawyers if United leaves. I do agree that they probably did that at first, not knowing what was going on, especially with the ARCA stuff. But now you filed a whole extra motion for it now. So what's different right now? You know what I mean? Like, girl, I'm going to use your wishful thinking because I totally wish that. I mean, Victoria George isn't even a criminal attorney, guys. Not even a criminal attorney. She's not even a criminal attorney. She's never practiced criminal law a day in her life. So it just doesn't make sense to me. Why would it's something's up? I don't know what it is, but something's up. Like, he did leave early. Yep, he left in the middle of a sidebar. You know, I know that he has a couple new cases. We know that, but as an attorney, when you have even high profile cases, you know that, like, right now, it was already scheduled for him to have this trial was supposed to start on the 1st, right, of April. All right, for jury selection. Now, if you think about it, he would still, 6 to 8 weeks, he would still be in the middle of a trial. As an attorney, you know ahead of time when you have a trial coming. So you wouldn't take a case that goes in the middle of that trial. You wouldn't. You might have your firm take it and other lawyers, right? Like, but you wouldn't take something that would be in the middle of a trial that you were already having. So something's weird. Something's up. Whether he took more cases or not, that's cool. That's fine. But you don't usually take cases that are in the middle of a trial that you're doing. It just doesn't make sense. You can have your firm have other attorneys fill in for you, but there's no reason that you would take things during a high profile case that you have when you know you are going to be in trial. So something is amiss. I don't know what it is, but something's up. Like, no, because he left. He didn't come back. He left completely. He packed his stuff up and he left. He did not come back. I do believe that she probably lied her way onto that jury on purpose, just based on her statements alone, you know? I'm sorry. What now, Brittany? Since when did he have a meltdown over witnesses? There's no meltdown over witnesses. His aggravation is from the defense's fuck games that they've been playing since day one. And anyone on planet Earth could have clearly seen that this was coming as a delay tactic. They've also tried to delay the trial in 3 courts blatantly. So, I mean, come on now. Stop it. Let's be honest here. Like, for 10 seconds, I know that we all have more than 2 brain cells. Let's rub those bad boys together and get a spark. Like, she's never tried a case. No. Nope. Never. Like, oh, no, they totally think that's okay. That's, like, totally okay. Hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on. I gotta call. Or not. Yeah, I mean, it's called aggravation. I'd be aggravated too, because if I have a case that's coming, right? And all of this stuff is happening, discovery's been due, we're about to start openings. Okay? And I still have experts that haven't finished testing. Well, my experts need to be able to look at their stuff and have their own rebuttals. That's how a trial works. And you can't have them do rebuttals in the middle of a case. Like you might not be able to fly them back out if they've already testified. You can't change the order of your witnesses once you've already scheduled everything. Bringing everyone back is not feasible. So, yeah, I'd be upset too. And make no mistake when I say, if this was the other way around, the defense would be screaming from a rooftop. You have to remember, like, make sure that even myself, put myself in the shoes of each attorney. If this was the defense, they would have been screaming from the rooftop how unfair it is, how it wouldn't be a fair trial if the prosecution was allowed to continue testing right now as they're about to start. Make no mistake about that. None at all. Like, yeah, she technically was hired, but after they had given the paperwork, though. So they knew it was coming because they had had to hand over the paperwork, because otherwise it was going to come from the federal government. They were forced to. Like, yeah, I saw that he was representing some of these cops. Oh yeah, they sure did. They sure did. No, it's not a rebuttal to his witness. ARCA is not a rebuttal. It's part of their case in chief. So what do you mean it's a rebuttal to his witness? ARCA is part of the defense's case in chief. It's not a rebuttal witness. Possibly. It's possible. I feel like she just gives everybody as much leeway as possible, but at the same time, like, as a judge, you need to know, like, when someone is taking too much line and just pulling it. Like, time to cut the line, dude. Like, and the end is the end. Like, well, of course there's no answer to lying to the judge, because if you don't have candor to the court, nobody can believe a fucking word you have to say. Not that we could believe really much of what they were saying, especially after numerous things that they said in open court were completely debunked. Like, yeah, she's like a professional juror, like she's been on many juries and she was the foreman, and she was very upset that she was not the foreman. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely agree with this, Sunken Grave. I can agree. Like, only one Jersey girl? Come on, I know you got more than one, my friend. Feels like that sometimes, right? Like, Billy agreed to $250,000 to represent the murderer, so it's biting him in the ass. So he needs more cases and needs to take on other cases. Make no mistake, they've made money off this case. Like, make no mistake. Like, they're not losing money by taking this case by any stretch of the imagination. Like, so we know that Microdots was paid by the defense. We know that for a fact. But we do know that some of them, after the last trial, was a mistrial. We know that two people came out to say that they're not being paid anymore, and they just magically stopped posting about it for quite some time, until maybe the funds kicked back in. Not sure. Like, not really sure. Yeah, what your point is, Emily Baker's been on here for years, and she's also not a lawyer anymore. The broken Baker, not Emily Baker. Talking about a completely different Baker. But she definitely has people that she's paid. I can tell you that part of the way that they get paid is through their own channels. Like, my first red flag when it came to the Karen Reed thing was her trying to control what I talked about on my channel. That was a shock and an insta block and a go fuck yourself. It was when I was talking about the Procter and Buchanan DNA, and it wasn't public information yet. I knew about it. My sources told me, started talking about it, and I instantly got messages. Well, Karen doesn't want you talking about that. Well, I don't give a fuck what Karen wants me talking about. This is the first time she's ever reaching out to say anything about whether my channel can talk about this. I don't give a fuck. It's part of the case. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about on my channel, and this is the information that I got. Well, it makes Karen look bad. And if you care about her, and it's not about caring about her, it's about caring about justice. If this is part of the case, this is part of the case. And that was my first red flag. My second was you weren't allowed to write anything on the Facebook group, okay, that made Karen look bad, even if it was part of the case and it was truth. Like the Higgins stuff, that's not allowed, even if you know about it, because it makes Karen look bad. Makes her look bad, right? Like, well, that's a huge fucking red flag. It's part of the case. It doesn't matter if it makes her look bad. You know? I mean, Hank probably has made, I mean, he's probably made a pretty penny. He's definitely probably not poor. That's for sure. Like, yeah, the magic mystery lighting. I could be retooling, you know? I do a lot of retooling. Well, that's part of the problem is Karen has some very morning, Jesse, some like control issues. Like I've said before, like she wants to come off softer to the jury. She probably needs to stop like clicking around on the computer and handing lawyers things. She needs to just let them do their job. Like, yeah, you come here and use the word McAlbert, that's an insta block. I don't know why you waste your time, Troll McTrollson, because nobody even read your comment because it's gone before anybody could even read it. So if you come into my chat and you use the word McAlbert as if they're not two separate families, and they're not two separate, like they're not an entity of separate people, then you're getting an insta block. Just know you're wasting your time doing finger push-ups. They have names and they're separate people and separate families. Oh my God, can you imagine? They probably will. I did. I did watch it, and thank you for that, Anna. Oh, you probably didn't get it because I made it a little late this morning. I was running a little late. I made it a little late. So that's probably why you didn't get a notification. That's my bad. That's on me. I think you have to do it like a half an hour ahead of time or it doesn't notify everyone. And that was my bad because I was late today. My bad. Like, that's the thing. If she just softened up a little, like, and I mean, like, stop with the clicking on the computer and handing your attorneys their files. Let the attorneys do their job. Let them look like their attorneys. Let them do that. It's their job. Okay. Like, let them do it. Let them do that. Like, please, for the love of God. Like, because otherwise, you're giving the jury a picture of you that you are running the show. And yes, of course, a defendant is going to tell their attorneys what they want them to do. But you look like you're part of the like attorney team that you can't let go enough of control to just let them do their job. And that speaks volumes. Don't do it, bro. There's no need. You know what your attorneys are doing. Why did you hire so many fucking attorneys if you couldn't let them do their job? Come on, man. Like, and that's another thing. If she can control her facial expressions and her looks, which I highly doubt she'll be able to control, she did not control them the first time. She isn't going to the second time. That's what I call it. Finger push-ups. You know, they're typing just, you know. Hey, Claire. Good morning, my friend. Well, she already went up to the sidebars before, but that's why she wanted the like listening device, right? Was so that she didn't have to go up to the sidebar, so it didn't look as bad, right? But the judge said, "No go, my friend. You're not disabled to the point where you can't get up and go to sidebar if you want. You have the choice. You can go up there or not." Most people wait for their attorneys to come back, and the attorney whispers in your ear what happened. You know what I mean? Like, just sit there, bro. Just be a defendant. Like, that did not disappear. It's there. It's there. Ashley made that one. I think it's there. It should be there at least. It's probably, you probably just got to scroll back up to see it. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning. Yeah, you're only going to see them disappear when it's a troll. Because then it's just going to get an insta boot and the comment will disappear when I boot them. That's just how it works when you boot them. I think so, but I mean, they would have been smart to already know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sean's watching. Make no mistake, Sean watches my show. He's watching, but I think he's doing a different. As far as I heard, I think he made like a whole different thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the relevant team here is audience capture. These YouTubers go to the extent of deleting respectful, truthful comments simply because they upset their viewers. Well, I don't do that. I don't just delete just comments. I only, when the comments get deleted, it's because someone was booted. It's not, I don't just delete just comments. It's not how I operate over here on my channel. But yes, it does. Like, dude, it doesn't look good to a jury. You know? Like, just chill, bro. Chill. I just don't think she can do that. Good morning, Erin. I don't think she knows how. Like, well, that's the other thing. Usually you just whisper, right? Like, you know, the lawyer will whisper in your ear and tell you what happened, right? Up at sidebar so that you're aware. Like, I mean, she can get up, it's her right, but I mean, you also have to remember, like, even though the jury is not supposed to do X, Y, or Z or judge you on X, Y, and Z, like, they're humans. They have human bias. And you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, right? Once you've done it, you can't put it back. Like the facial expressions, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff, like, they're in their head, like, that's either gonna make them like you or not like you. And it's not good if a jury doesn't like you. So, like, common sense would say, like, tone it down. Every single defense attorney that I know preps their clients with how they should dress for court, how they should look, how they should show emotion or not show any emotion. Like, most defense attorneys go over all of this with their clients. So I make no mistake when I say that hers definitely have or did. Like, she's just choosing to listen or not listen. No, I don't. It was the data from the car. We know that. But I don't remember what he was talking about right before or right after. I just remember thinking to myself when he said it, like, oh, that's big. And I wonder if anybody else caught that. Like, that's because that's huge, right? But I don't know. I have an email from Corrections Canada Victim Services about the offender in my case. I don't want to open it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, we're here. I will hold your cyber hand if you need me. Oh, yeah, you're not allowed to say, like, anything, even if it's respectful. You know, not allowed. Like, no, Karen does not have a legal background. She worked for Fidelity. So, yeah, the turtle watches. Nobody cares about him, though. Oh, I think what pisses me off the most about him is he knows that Aiden can be a blackmailing piece of shit because LTL got a little taste of that, yet he remains silent about it. That's the part that gets me. Remaining silent means you're just as bad as he is. Just saying. Like, well, it was rude. It was very rude. Like, it was extremely rude. They know what time court fucking starts, dude. Okay? They knew about it. There was no need. Like, oh, so they're deleting, like, facts, you mean? Like, actual facts. Not just comments, but facts. See, that's the thing. Give me a fact. They can't even, like, give me a fact that shows that she's innocent. Not speculation, okay? Not you think, not a lie that has just been told over and over and over, but an actual fact or a piece of evidence in the case. You can't. It doesn't exist. You know? Like, oh, yeah. Well, you know, that's the thing. You got to show the jury something. Like, show them what you're saying, or like they're just not going to believe you. That's part of the problem. Like, yeah, it is. Like, deja vu, right? Because you literally can at this point pinpoint what he's going to do and when he's going to do it. Because he's a creature of habit, and also narcissists tend to do the same things over and over like that because they've gotten away with it before. So they'll just do the same thing over and over and over. Like, unfortunately. narcissists are, real good at sitting there and blaming other people and not taking responsibility. It's part of their MO, Like, yeah, she worked for Fidelity. She did financials, but not law per se. Yeah, you can't. Sorry. You can't freak. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. Can't unring the bell, sir. Nope. I know. I know, right? Isn't it amazing? Listen, I don't mind facts. Let's do facts. I like facts. And I don't just delete things just because if they're respectful, like when I boot, that automatically deletes whatever that person writes. Like, yeah, I know. I heard it. I literally heard it with my own ears. I remember exactly what I was thinking at the time. I will find it. I will find it. I will. I have limited time. I have mom duties after I get off here with you guys, and I got lots of other stuff to do. So I try to do stuff at night when the kids are asleep and everything else is done. And I get tired at some point and I go to sleep. So, but I try. Yes, Allie does. You got this, Anna. You got this. Wait, what? Wait, Dr. Russell can't testify? Wait, is that happening right now? Hold on. Wasted no time disrespecting Hank Brennan. Hopefully people realize what Hank Brennan did yesterday regarding. Yeah, well, he made him plead the fifth. I mean, the fact that he. Yeah, wait. So she was. I'm confused. She excluded. I mean, what? There was no motion for that though. That one was a while ago, and she was allowed. So hold on, I'm confused here. I gotta check something. We gotta check something. Hold on. While we're doing that, though, if you guys could do me a total awesome favor and hit the like button and the subscribe button and share this out with people. And if you possibly can, donate to the channel. You can do so on Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. I would very much appreciate it. I'm going to look for that right now. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to check the docket to see what's going on in that department. Oh, you weren't allowed to say anything? How did she block you before you got to say something? They don't even know you're there until you say something, because you could be watching from the bushes. So how did she must have blocked you like in a different chat before. This is to compel the reciprocal discovery for ARCA. This one was that the judge ordered that on April 18th by 5. The defendant is to produce the Commonwealth any outstanding discovery listed under 1, 2, and 3 of the Commonwealth's motion, which is like emails, text, receipts, promise inducements, blah, 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 blah. And then it says the Commonwealth moves for an order compelling the defense to produce discovery. This is the ARCA stuff. Interesting. Hold on. I am not seeing. I'm going to go somewhere else and look. Hold on. Weird. I mean, in my opinion, okay. Yeah, this is new ruling. Judge Canoni orders Karen Reed's defense to turn over communications, billing, and other discovery from the accident recon firm ARCA and notice any new testing ARCA may be conducting. I don't see anything about Russell, though. I don't see anything about Dr. Russell. I don't think. No, because those guys don't want to get involved. Her exes don't want to be involved. I can't blame them. Could you guys? Like, I don't know. Like, Nelson said, just watch Helicopter Jail 2 hours and 22 minutes from yesterday's hearing. And he walked out during the sidebar. Yeah, I watched. We were here doing the hearing yesterday when he walked out during the sidebar. And Jackson discussed what Yannetti gave U.S. attorney when the sidebar was over. Yeah, it's just that's another thing that was discussed. A subpoena was discussed, and I'm confused on what the F and F is going on with that too. Like, oh yeah, she knows. She's an avid online reader of everything. So yeah, she knows. She's very well aware. Like, well, I can say that I do know a little bit of the history there, and there are some truths that have been thrown out there. There are some not so truths that have been thrown out there, but I'll tell you that her history is not amazing when it comes to ex-boyfriends. Let's just put it that way. Like, what? It's they just went through a traumatic event, and so now it's suspicious that they talk to each other. Not for nothing, but I've met people on my own vacations that one of my other friends brought with them and made friends with them that day, and from that day forward, we were then friends, texting each other and everything. So, like, I don't find that weird at all. You meet someone, especially if you go through something traumatic, you are now trauma bonded by that traumatic event and have lots to talk about, especially if you're trying to figure out what in the actual fuck happened. There's nothing suspicious about trying to figure out what the fuck y'all just went through together at all. Like, nope, nope, it was not. Yeah, I know what you mean on the videos themselves. Like, I also do know though, and I will just throw this out there to be fair, that YouTube filters comments too that I don't even know about. So like somebody will tell me like, "Hey, I left a comment on your video and I don't see it." YouTube also filters things out without my knowledge. So, and I don't know why. I have no idea why. Some of the comments are very normal, mundane, like just commenting on what we were talking about. So, like, I don't know why the hell YouTube does that either. Like, why are you filtering my comments? I can filter my own comments if I want to, but like, why is YouTube removing or filtering out comments? Like, basically, like shadow banning certain comments or whatever. Like, so just to be fair, I'll throw that out there. Like, no, I can't find anything on it either. She's not excluded. She's just not allowed to talk about certain things. Like, they limited what she could talk about because she can't talk about things that she's not a expert of. You know what I mean? Like, and also, how is she going to talk about which tooth it was? If Hank's not allowed to say that it wasn't Chloe, then she's not going to be allowed to say that it is. So that's, I mean, judge is going to have to figure out how that's going to work, but it's been over for him. He knows this, though. He's just milking it for all it's worth at this point. Like, Hank absolutely could already have a sealed indictment on him, could already have a grand jury impaneled, you know? Like, oh, it was on TikTok. That makes more sense. Like, yeah, it was just weird. It was strange. Like, what? Where is he going? Like, where is he going? Like, I mean, I looked, I see nothing. I see nothing on the docket yet. I mean, she was, yes, thank you, Nelson. Yeah, we watched it here too. So we watched him walk out. We were watching the hearing here, so I covered it yesterday. I have talked to Kevin too. I sent, our well wishes for his chemo and stuff. And he's gonna let me know about the event in May. No, no idea. We talked about it a little this morning because it doesn't make a ton of sense. That's another thing. They could have discussed that at sidebar, which I mean, they had to have because it's there and the judge like, but still we're going to need to know whether she accepted it or not. It's got to go on the docket. So at some point I'll get that document as soon as it goes up on the docket. Like, someone called I don't belong here. She showed up in my recommended. Ugh, careful of what shows up on your recommended for sure, Yeah, he did. He got his lunch from the cooler. Like, what in the hell? Like, damn. Like, it's a report card of how he's doing. Ugh. Well, as long as he's not doing good, he'll remain there. So that's actually a good thing. Good. Good. He can stay there where he belongs. Trauma bonding is real. It's a very real experience. Believe me. I told you guys, like, full disclosure, I had a fiance who died in a house fire in 2006. And the other people, who lost someone, in that he wasn't the only person who died. He got out, went back in for people who were inside, and died, trying to get other people out. And I bonded with the people that lost their loved one as well. Like, it's real. Trauma bond is real. Like, you go through something very traumatic with someone, and they know something, or they understand something better than anyone on planet Earth understands that trauma, because they were there, because they experienced it. You know what I'm saying? I know, right? Apparently, so must the bar exam as well must be getting easier or something. I don't know. Like, yeah, that was weird too. I just don't know. Something is up. I don't know what it is, but something is up. Like, it's weird. Whether it's they're getting their story straight, or or he has to be gone for a period of time from the case. There's something. There is something. Like, and Arca, they know, is just like the bane of their existence right now. Like, it really, really is. Yeah, you hang in there, Anna. You know you have us. You know you have us. Oh, he definitely knows that his law license is in jeopardy. But why would you then ask for Victoria George, not even a criminal attorney, a civil attorney that you hired in your firm, to be co-counsel? For what reason? It says he'll still remain counsel, but then are you going to drop yourself from that after she's approved? That's what I want to know. Like, because it's a weird move. I mean, if you ask any other lawyer in mass, they'd say the same thing as what I'm saying, which is, and I'm not a lawyer, like, that it's a weird move. Something's weird about it, whether it's a PR stunt or something's up. Like, it's one or the other. There's no other explanations for that. Like, yeah, I don't know why YouTube does that. It kind of pisses me off, because some people will leave, like I said, normal comments. There's no reason for YouTube to be filtering it out. Like, and they do. Like, so, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's no, like, option for me to stop them from doing it either. It pisses me off, because when somebody will say, like, hey, like, I wrote a comment, it's not there, like what the hell? Like, I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, I see nothing. Like, YouTube filters it themselves without even friggin' saying anything. Like, there are some that it'll say, like, you need to approve for whatever reason. Maybe it's caught in one of the, but then there are other ones that they just filter out and say nothing about. Like, what the hell? Oh, is that today? Is that right now, Sailboat? Is that like a thing right now? I wonder. I wonder. Judge said Dr. Russell won't be allowed to testify. Ruled she lacked the necessary pathology and veterinary bite analysis to make that kind of conclusion in front of the jury. No, see that. Okay, so let me just. She's allowed to testify. She's not allowed to testify to certain things. So she's still going to be a witness, but she's only what she's going to be allowed to testify to are whatever things in her report she's going to be allowed to testify to. Certain things she's not going to be allowed to testify to, because she doesn't have the sort of experience or scientific whatever to be able to get to that conclusion. I don't think she should have been allowed to testify at all, but she makes the defense look foolish, so let her. But the judge limited what she could, but that was a while ago. That's not anything new. I listen, I pride myself on how much I interact with my chat. And I tell you, and I mean, my audience knows why. And it's because they always have such amazing points to make. Some of these people are brilliant themselves, and there's amazing things to talk about. There's amazing questions that they have. And so, like, I don't give a shit whether you donate to my channel or not. Does it help? Yes. I have to cover the costs of running this, and try to make something on top of it, which it's been a very slow week for me for that. Like, and sometimes you take the good with the bad. But I couldn't just read the comments of people who donate and not read the ones of people who don't. Like, I like to engage with my audience. That's part of why I love my show so much, is because it's a community, because I engage. I get to know my audience. They get to know me, and they have really important, smart things to say, and really awesome points of things that maybe I didn't even catch on to. And one of them did. Like, of all walks of life. We're talking retired law enforcement, retired British services, current law enforcement, current people who work in court systems, lawyers, tech people, animal people. Like, we have someone from pretty much every walk of life you could think of. And so many are just, you're all brilliant in your own ways. And like, that's what I love about being able to engage with my chat, right? Is that there's so many of you that have so many like really good things to say. Like, yeah, he did. Yep. They want George to be the holder of the Pro Hawks and Unetti running out in the middle of the hearing. Yeah, something is definitely smells wrong to me. Like, just from what I know, obviously, about the law. And once again, I'm not an attorney, but I've studied law long enough to know, and have worked in the system to know like what the hell I'm talking about. And oh, are you here? You can walk upstairs if you're here. Are you here, darling? I do feel like something's up, right? Something is up. It just is. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, yeah. I feel the defense is scheming here too. Is it possible for them to coordinate for Karen Reed's defense team to become a poor representation so she can appeal? I know it's a stretch. No, some attorneys actually do that. If they know they're going to lose a case, they kind of throw it out there with like, not so bad where they would lose their law license, but do a few things that like they could appeal on ineffective counsel. Like, but I mean, there is something up. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to find out. That's for sure. Like, what defense attorney that had to, they didn't have a choice. They have to. Like, they can't when it comes to client info, but if you're a part of that and it could incriminate you, then you'd hand that over with some sort of deal, wouldn't you? If you could be charged with a crime, you no longer have attorney-client privilege anymore. You waived that. So that could be why. Maybe they're trying to get him on the witness intimidation, threaten him with the charge, and now you got to hand over the file. Like, he definitely looked like something was bugging him. Like, no, not on live chat, Dixie Doodle, but on like the regular comments, like when I'm not live anymore and you like go to this video, because it's on my YouTube after I'm not live anymore. And people who are watching the replay will comment on it. Even people who are in chat will go and comment on it after it's not live. And I appreciate you guys so much for that, because when you do that, it pushes the algorithm on YouTube to push it out to other people to find us. So I do very much appreciate when you guys do that. It's when it's on the actual like comments on the video, not the live chat. But he did look quite uncomfortable, like, but yeah, during the hearing and then not knowing why. I know my lawn needs to be cut. We gotta get the lawnmower out. The last couple weeks have been raining, and I'm like, damn, the lawn is starting to grow. It's gonna need to be chopped. Oh, Ash, we're gonna have to get a new, maybe Freak can get a new, make a new link for the Discord if it's not working. Sometimes there's like a certain amount of time and then it'll like time itself out and then you got to make another one. It is, hence why I love my community so much. That's what I'm wondering, Sailboat. Is he bailing out? But if he's bailing out, why ask Victoria George to take on the license? That's the weird thing. Like, you know what I mean? Why? Why ask her to take it on? Doesn't make sense. That's the weird part. Because she still works for his firm. I mean, it's very well a possibility that he is bailing out, but I have a $10 donation on Venmo from Mr. Sailboat Wolf. Thank you, Mr. Sailboat Wolf. I appreciate you, my friend, very, very much. Thank you. I will use that actually today for my Easter shopping. I think I got it. Hold on. Scorpio Moon Girl, thank you so much for your $20 donation. She says I'm amazing. I think you guys are amazing. And I also have an one from Anonymous for 100. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is literally going to be my Easter shopping money. That's thank you. Well, she signed something for Thank you, Allie. I appreciate it. Oh, you're a retired nurse. My grandmother was an RN. So, I mean, I've learned a lot just with medical, with my own medical issues. And my daughter, with her terminal illness, I've learned quite a bit over the years. I also have a sister who has special needs and a sister in law who has Down syndrome. So, I've learned a lot when it comes to medical. But my grandmother was also an RN, and the woman was a saint. So, I appreciate all the work that you did as a nurse, Jane, because it takes a very special person to be a nurse. Yeah, that's probably what it is, Erin. It's probably expired. I'll have Freak make a new one for you guys and put it in chat. Wait, media outlets? Interesting. I'll have to look into that, Diana. Do you know what do you know specifically what media? I mean, I checked the docket, that's where I looked, but I didn't check media. Because usually they don't pick up on things until after we do, honestly, to be honest. Like mainstream media doesn't usually have the information until after we already have it. So I'll have to look. Yeah, I will look. I will try to confirm this for you guys. Um Yeah, she did, but there are other things you can appeal on for ineffective counsel. So there can't be like there can and can't. Like there can't just be a broad you can't do ineffective counsel for this. So once the trial starts, if there are things in trial that they do or don't do that she could argue are ineffective counsel on an appeal, there are still ways that she can appeal for ineffective counsel. Just depends on what grounds she would be trying to do it. But it's it's a very real possibility, you know? Like, I mean, that lady drives me nuts. Like, honestly, she literally told her whole audience that, like, the Supreme, like, with a tweet that, like, basically the Supreme Court took Karen Reed's case and they didn't. So I'm like, lady, you're supposed to be an attorney. Come on, man. The grant, that the judge shouldn't grant the motions. Why wouldn't they? Give me, but that's the thing. She's not even giving a legal reason why the judge shouldn't grant X, Y, or Z. Like, she's saying they shouldn't. Shouldn't, why not? Like, why not? You know what I mean? Why not? Like, oh, you go, girl. Stevie Nicks at fourth row. You have so much fun. You know what? Call me afterwards. You can swing by. I don't live too far from there. Oh, wait, TD Garden. That was the one in Boston, right? Not Foxborough. Check the source. Russell's not out. I have to go look if there's media talking about it. I'm going to wonder what they're talking about. We'll check, you know? We'll check on it. But hey, have so much fun at that concert. Concerts are a freaking blast. The last one I went to was last year. And it was a country concert of a country icon. You can call him an icon. And it was probably one of the best concerts I've ever been to. I went with a very close friend who's been my friend since I was a teenager. She held my leg when I gave birth to my oldest. That's how long I've known her, my friend Tina. And it was a blast. It was just me and her, and it was hot as hell outside. But the concert was amazing. Like, let's see. Oh, Anna said she saw it a few years ago. Yeah, that's the weird thing. I feel like maybe he could be getting the boot. It's possible. It's a very real possibility. Like, I know, right? Good morning to all the rest of us. Yep, Yanetti's sister is Tanis. She's a attorney at his firm. But that's the thing is they're making so much money hand over fist that they're just going to keep saying whatever people want them to. That's what gets me. Is like you're just willing to say whatever to get the money at that point, and that's really sad. You know, that's really really sad. Like especially when it doesn't make any like you're arguing something like with a fact that is clearly disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dude. Hold on one second, guys. Well, they are always up to something. We know that, right? We definitely know that. Like, last words about TB, you understand what he was saying, right? TB better get a better attorney. Well, yeah, I mean, we all know that there's a very real possibility that Bradle loses his license with the BBO come with the shit that he's dealing with already. Like, oh, thank you, Tracy. That's so nice of you. You don't have to do that. You know, I don't have an Apple device, just so we know. Yes, serious question. Go ahead, ask. Go for it. It was a motion. It was a motion, Jen. They put a motion into the judge to ask if she could be co-counsel, that he would still remain head counsel on holding those licenses, but that Victoria George would be co-counsel on holding the Pro Hoc VJ licenses. She's saying if we are depending on the news and their notes and all the documentaries that Karen Reed has nothing to worry about, and she's as serious as a doorknob. Yes, very nice, especially since Ashley is taking me to go do my Easter shopping today. I haven't gotten anything yet. We're gonna go be the Easter bunny. Like, no, because I mean, we've gone over the butt dials, right? Like, the butt dials don't prove anything. They don't prove anybody did anything wrong, and they don't prove that Karen is innocent. So to me, those butt dials don't really mean much, nor would they in any other trial. Also, we know that Richard Green did not read the Celebrate extraction correctly. So he even said that there were deleted calls that weren't deleted. They weren't user deleted, which means me or you didn't delete them from your phone. Your call log, for instance, might hold 100 or 200 calls, right? When the 201st one comes in, your phone deletes it to the background. It doesn't delete it off the phone or from the data, but your phone itself deletes it from the background to make room for the newest call, right? So he was reading it as if it was deleted, as in deleted by the user, when it was deleted as in it's still there. It was never deleted by the user. It was deleted by the phone to make room for the next one. So he wasn't even reading the data correctly. So we know he was trying to use a DB wall file as a timestamp for a Google search. A DB wall file would never be a timestamp for a Google search. It would be a time that you opened or closed or moved a tab to the background. I have tabs that have been open for a month or more, and I got a bunch of them, which I always forget to clean out. Even after I do this whole spiel, I totally always forget to clear them out. But Richard Green didn't read the data correctly, which we know from not only Celebrate themselves, but Jessica Hyde, who is very well credentialed and teaches this stuff. We also know Richard Green was not certified in Celebrate, and that he called Ian Whiffen from Celebrate to help him read it because he was having a problem, and then didn't call Ian Whiffen back. Then he apologized on the stand in the last trial for reading it incorrectly, and Celebrate had to make a patch so that nobody else would accidentally read something incorrectly and hurt people the way they have in this case. So the butt dials don't mean much coming from a guy that didn't know how to read the data. And even if some people did butt dial, Karen butt dialed herself that night. Oh, more than once. you know, so no, not really. Reasonable doubt to what? It doesn't prove or disprove anything. It doesn't prove anybody did anything wrong. It doesn't disprove that it doesn't prove that she's innocent, doesn't prove that she's guilty either. And she made her own sort of butt dials, that's my serious answer. But I do get where it's because people say it so much, right? Butt dials, butt dials, butt dials. Butt dials don't prove or disprove anything. And as we know, the guy reading the data also said there was deleted messages or calls and there wasn't. So, well, that's the thing though. I don't think they would do that for ineffective counsel because she has the right to speak whether her counsel can't make her or not, right? So even if they tell her, we advise you against it, we advise you against speaking, or we're going to be there so we know what you can say and can't say, if she chooses to just go on about it anyway, that's her right. She has that right, unfortunately. The former juror lawyer was not getting the jury information. Well, no, because she was only an alternate, remember? She wasn't a deliberating juror. She was just an alternate. So she never went in the deliberation room. But they want her to hold the Pro Hoc VJ licenses as co-counsel. She's an in-state attorney. She's a Massachusetts attorney. She's an only other one on the entire, yes, she's the only other one in the entire case that's an actual Massachusetts attorney, although she's a civil attorney. EDB says she wasn't getting the info, only Yaneni, Jackson, and Little was. Well, that doesn't make sense. If she's an attorney on there, she would be getting it too. So that doesn't even make any sense. Her whole thing for her to be there is so that she could help with the jury because she was an alternate. So of course she would get in there. She's part of the defense team. She has the right to see it. Why wouldn't she be getting that information? They're going to continue to claim that John wasn't hit by a car and that it was a dog. Party of one. In order to grift, honey, there has to be something to grift, lovey. Okay? I promise you it's not over here in the people who think that she's guilty camp. I'm sorry to inform you of your biased views from the echo chamber. You know, she's not going to be acquitted. Sorry to burst that bubble, but that's not going to happen. She's got a mountain of evidence to climb over. Yeah, it's basically like her first legal job. She's never done criminal law a day in her life. But they're going to continue to claim the same thing they did last time. They're going to go with the same thing, except they're going to lean more heavily on the investigation is bungled thing, because they know the third party culprit, pick one, anyone thing didn't really work in the first trial. So this time they're going to lean more heavily on how they thought the investigation was horrible, which isn't going to work out for them. But they can try it. Go for it. Like, yeah, if they if they tied her to a boat anchor, they could stop her. Otherwise, meh, like this is why I love engaging with my audience and my chat so much, is because it takes a bunch of people to run through a bunch of different ideas to sort of figure things out. You know? Like, I posted the video in Discord with a timestamp. He's got some great point. Yeah, I saw it. Thank you, Anna. Jack says the defense is up to something major, I think. This judge keeps letting them get away with everything. I think they'll make a clown of Canoni this time. You know, I have to believe in Hank because he knows what he's doing and he knows how to take apart lies piece by piece. I know. That's a funny one, right, Anna? Funniest one I heard all day. Like so she signed only applied to that particular, yeah, so it's that particular situation. So that's the thing. The judge would have to make her sign one for every particular, like, there's other things that you could go for ineffective counsel on. But again, if she does the same thing she did last time with trial, then she'd kind of be locked in. So I know I'm raking in millions over here going against the grain. I'm such a bad person, I guess, you know. Getting harassed daily is definitely something that I love getting. It's amazing. Grifters love that. I mean, who doesn't love being harassed by a mob every day? To speak truth. I mean, that's like the way grifters do it, isn't it? Isn't that how it works? No? Yeah? No? Right. Go give the lawyers who own 3 houses and make millions of dollars your money. That's a great idea. Like, she was made pro hoc VJ so she could get the jury information. She's not pro hoc VJ, though. She's a Massachusetts barred attorney. She's a civil attorney, but she doesn't need to be pro hoc VJ. And she doesn't have to hold the pro hoc VJ licenses of the other out-of-state attorneys to get that information either. So EDB's an idiot and has no idea what she's talking about. just to throw it out there, Victoria George is a Massachusetts attorney. So EDB has got her screws loose on this one. She might want to like recheck her information since she doesn't seem to know what she's talking about. She seems to think Victoria George is an out-of-state attorney, and she is not. She is an in-state attorney. She doesn't have pro hoc VJ status. The defense is asking for her to hold the licenses of the other pro hoc VJ attorneys with David Yannetti because she is the only other Massachusetts barred attorney on the team. It is kind of funny, isn't it? Like, they've been playing the judge like a fool this entire time. Oh, yeah, I have no doubt about that, MYB. No doubt at all, you know? Oh, yeah, the A butt dial, because the person at the top of the list. I've done that. Yeah, I make, she probably talks to him on a daily, MYB, my friend. Right? Close your tabs, people. I totally forget about it every time. I have so many open, it like slows my phone down. Yeah, I've had earbuds that have done that because if you accidentally hit the thing, like, it will dial, like, and yeah, it doesn't outweigh and clear the cache. Yeah, do that too. Good late morning, Bella. I think Unity is shady. He started all this, but Jackson is 20 times worse, and he's going to full force to scam the court, the judge, and the public because he gets off on being a jackass. Yeah, I can agree with that. The only evidence I needed to hear was Karen say I hit him. The evidence for me that really locks this in, as you guys know, is that the time her car backs up, that we know the data hasn't been altered, right? We know this. Karen doesn't deny driving the vehicle or being in the vehicle. So at the time that car backs up, within seconds, John's phone stops moving forever. Where he is found, Karen tries to take the phone out of his pocket when she gets there over at 6 a.m. So we know the reason it's underneath him is because she tries to pull it out of his pocket. So like within seconds of her backing up that car, John's phone stops moving forever in the same spot that he is found after 6 a.m. That is a snapshot in time. So unless somebody beat him up and threw him out on the lawn and bit him with a dog in front of Karen Reed right there, then it's not possible. Also, his phone never goes in the house and it's found with him. So phone never moves from the spot he's then found. That's the thing. Like, not really. I mean, if reasonable doubt still has to be reasonable. What doubt would butt dials bring? You know what I'm saying? Like that people butt dialed each other or called each other, that doesn't bring a doubt because there's no other evidence that anybody but Karen committed the crime. And the thing that I just explained 2 seconds ago, I know I'm behind in the comments, but like that's like a snapshot in time. Nobody could have beat John up, throw him out on the lawn, hope that he dies with his phone within 4 seconds. 4 seconds. That's all the time they would have had. 4 seconds. Oh, I've butt Facebooked quite a bit. Have you guys ever Facebooked butt dialed? I have. Because not all of them had dialed anything, because some of the stuff Richard Green was reading was non-existent. Like, oh, I've done purse dials, pocket dials, butt dials, hoodie dials. I've done those. Yeah, I know, right? Somebody who was an attorney should know better, but she doesn't do her homework. She just spews FKR talking points, I guess. No, the doctor who examined him did not say he was beaten to death. See, did you do the research on that? Did you go and check the information? You heard that, right? You read it somewhere where FKR said it or one of the talking heads over there said it, but did you actually go and check that information? Doctor did not say that. Absolutely did not say that. Yeah, that didn't happen. Yep, he said that about the McCabe's and Alberts. If they pled the fifth, which they never were going to do, but that would mean that they were guilty, blah, 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 blah. I would love freak. We put that together as a clip with yesterday's hearing. Yes, they have a neurologist. Yep, my daughter also has a service dog who is a German Shepherd as well. He's a big baby. His name is Maui. Right? She kept backing his chair into him, so he's like, "Fuck this." I'm just kidding. Well, that's the thing. It doesn't prove or disprove anything, you know? I know, dude. I'm getting started. Is anybody else starting to get those damn mosquitoes? I am. It's goddamn mosquitoes. Gotta get the raid out, man. Raid. On his arm? I don't think so. Her phone would have had to move too. And I don't think that's the case with the coordinates. So honestly, I think it was either caused by the taillight shards or the glass or both. It could be both. You know, we do know that if you turn the taillight shards, they actually do line up with his scratches and the ribs on like the lines on it. Boundless Millennial has one that shows you exactly the pieces of taillight. And if you turn it, the piece of tile because it was found a certain way, but if you turn it, it matches right up with John's wounds on his arm. Boundless Millennial has that, and you should go look at that to just look at what it looks like, you know? She has been through hell. She has definitely been through hell for sure. So have the Alberts, and it's awful. You know, if I would think if he was gonna leave to save his reputation, he would have left a long time ago. You know, I would have. If I was him, I would have, you know? Yeah, she hasn't really practiced much law since getting her license. She did, like, paperwork, basically. Like, "Are you sure you're not unreasonable, Jack?" Oh, armpit dials. Coat dials in the rain. Okay, alright. Like, oh, she definitely knew how pissed off he was. Like, okay, let me just put this one to bed. You realize that there are receipts, right, for the work that was done, not only from the insurance company, but from the company that did the work, and why? This is why, like, misinformation should be thrown out the window, because this kind of misinformation about their basement is the reason why everybody believes this ridiculous conspiracy theory. I just want you to know, okay, there's a reason why the defense isn't even arguing that you're arguing right now, and it's because the receipts were given to the authorities and the insurance company information and all the information to talk to both of those people. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. Yeah, that was cute, wasn't it? That was cute. What? You know what? You realize how, like, scratching works, right? Like, you don't bleed right away after you get scratched, right? It takes a second. And that's the problem with not verifying anything that you parrot back, and that risks hurting people with information that is untrue, okay? You have no idea what they did in that basement. I do. You have no idea why or where it was done in the basement. And clearly, you had no idea that all of that information was then given to the authorities, including the feds. Did you? Guess not, huh? Not, that's the problem. Ask questions, cool, but don't spread misinformation that are just bold-faced lies because that's what you heard 75 times from FKR. Because then you're risking hurting other people, you know? Exactly. You don't use insurance money to hide a murder. Also, it happened. Do you know when that happened, by the way? Do you know when they had damage to the basement? Bet you don't. Like, everything's documented. Everything. I do believe it's a very real possibility he had 2 glasses. Um, Apparently not. You do. Well, they're just rely a lot of the time, it's relying on misinformation that's been repeated 17 times. It's like a game of telephone, you know? It's literally just like a game of telephone where, like, one person said it, and it changed and changed and changed until it got to this ridiculous nonsense cockamamie theory that has nothing to do with literally anything, like, no, we're not trying to mock. Nobody better be mocking. Be mocking. Some of us are asking, they want questions. They're asking questions. But I do want you guys to realize that there are things that are just going to be repeated as misinformation, and that hurts people, real life people. Like, real life people. Like, there are so many different things that I could, get rid of. Like, when it comes to some of the ridiculous things. Like, I think you guys also have to remember, like, the defense isn't even arguing half of this stuff. And there's a reason why they're not arguing half of this stuff. It's because there's evidence to prove that it absolutely didn't happen. The basement stuff, like, there's a reason why they're not arguing anything about the basement being fixed. That's because receipts were given, everything was given to the federal government, and everything was given to the state police, and the defense also has it. So these are things that aren't even going to be argued in the trial because they are already well known that could be debunked in about 10 seconds. Like, I think that's the one thing I think we all need clarification on. Exactly how did they happen, right? Was it taillight? Was it glass? Like, what is the theory of why they happened? You do realize, though, that Brian Albert came out of the house, but not until after they cleared his, lawn. And by the time that Brian was woken up by Jen and the officer that went in after Jen, John was already put into the ambulance and left. So as someone who was an officer, he knows not to come out of his house and step on a crime scene, right? Like you don't want to be, if he had came out of the house, people would have said he was tampering with evidence, right? Like that's what he would have said. Like he was tampering with evidence. You know what I mean? Like that's what would have happened is people would have been like, well, he tampered with evidence. He came out of his house. John was already in the ambulance on the way to the hospital when Jen went in to wake them up and the officer went in behind. So A, there was an officer that went in that day. B, Jen woke them up and John was already gone. So what would he need to come out of the house for? If he came out of the house, people would be saying that he tampered with evidence. You know what I mean? Like, no, Tracy's actually here for information. She is. I concur. She is actually here to listen and ask real questions. So I get, give them a little grace, Tracy. They're used to trolls coming in and like pretending to be nice and pretending to actually want information, but then like instantly attacking. So give them a smidgen of grace. They're very protective of their community, and I get why, because we do have a lot of trust. But Tracy actually is here, guys, as a person who wants to listen and ask questions. I can confer that. We do know there's going to be a witness from Ring. There is going to be a witness from Ring. We don't know what they're going to testify to, though. We have no idea. We have no clue. Like, we have no clue what they're going to be able to say or what they're not going to be able to say. We don't know if they're going to be able to say if they know when things were deleted or if they can say why things are missing. We don't know. But I guess we'll find out. That's one of the things that I don't have an answer on, Like, I don't have an answer on that. I wish I did. That would be good information to have for sure, but that's probably one of the things that I really don't have an answer on as to what they are going to testify to or what they might have or not have or be able to say about Ring itself. Um I don't feel like there's so many roadblocks this time as there might have been last time, just because they have so much more pieces of evidence. Like, you have to remember, a lot of people here watched the trial too. I streamed the entire trial last time. We watched it as well. She's gonna have to hold back on her looks, that for sure, if she wants to help herself. Like, well, that's the problem. You have to remember, a lot of this bad information is hurt people. It's ruining their lives with just telephone information, basically, that's been passed to one person, to another, to another, to another, to another. Um, that has like shitty that's been changed 75 times, like this person says this happened, and then it goes on and on and on and on until someone's accused of murder that they didn't commit. Nobody has been charged with this crime other than Karen Reed, and there are innocent people who are being literally harmed because of this. Like, you know yeah, the shards of tail light, if you turn one of the pieces of tail light they found, there's like ribs in it, and you can see how it goes right across John's arm. And if somebody knows the name of the video Boundless has it in, um can they put it in the chat? Because I forget the name of that specific video, but it's important if you go look at it from your own perspective. You can even mute the audio, just look at it yourself. Yeah, no, I don't think, being frustrated isn't mocking, but like I how other people could be, you know, if they want to ask questions and they want to figure out what's going on too, like they have some valid questions, as long as they're not, I know it's frustrating to have to repeat it again, guys, but that's the whole reason why we're here. We want to give the information so that people know where they can come for it, right? Like, we want to be that place that they can go and get that information from, even if it's been asked 100 times before, because you have to remember, not everybody's following this case from the very beginning. Some people are just coming into it right now. Um, Ooh, white noise machine. My sister also sleeps with a white noise machine. I sleep with rain sounds on because I have tinnitus in my ear. So I have ringing that happens in my ear.
And so I can't really sleep well without that sort of rain sound. I found sort of drowns it out. My ear, nose, and throat doctor was like, I forgot to tell you that, he said, but other people use that and they say it works. So I had already been using it. My dad used to use it when we were kids, beach sounds and rain thunderstorms and jingle sounds. Like when I was kids, he had like a CD that had all that stuff on it, you know? But I use that because I have, you know, I have a ringing in my ear. I have tinnitus in this ear. So believe me when I say I do not get good sleep. And but I have found that the rain sounds work. The white noise doesn't. That the pitch of that hurts my tinnitus, but the rain sounds work really well. I've very rarely seen someone change their mind here. Jack, I can tell you that since about, I don't know, a month and a half ago, I have talked to 5 people, 5 that have watched my channel and just found us, but were watching FKR channels strictly before us, and have now changed their mind. 3 of them have changed their mind. 2 of them are in the middle of digging into looking at answers to questions that I gave them and told them to go look at the evidence, the actual pieces of evidence and the actual like transcripts of court and everything like that. Like, so they're in the middle of actually looking into that. And I get great emails from them asking where to find certain things. I'll send them certain court documents that I can find, or tell them where to find the ones I don't have. And I'll tell you, there's been a lot more recently of people starting to actually ask questions, legitimately ask questions and say, wait a second. I heard this, and this. Remember, some of the things they heard are ridiculous and completely debunkable, but these are things they heard. So it's our job to be like, all right, that's what you heard. Cool. These are the reasons why it's not true. And you can go and look for this, and this, or this testimony, this person, and this, or these are the reasons why legally, why this isn't even going to be, some of these things aren't even going to be brought up in trial because they've already been debunked behind the scenes. And the defense isn't even arguing it because they already know it's not a thing that they can argue, right? Like the basement, like they're not arguing about the basement and the work that was done in the basement because they have all the receipts. They've already seen all of that. So they can't argue that. It's not feasible. Like, well, that's another thing. You can't, not even the jury bought the conspiracy of all the, all the people. Like, it's just not, Well, Luna, nobody's harassing Karen Reed. There's the difference. Okay. I don't understand how you would think that a defendant would be harmed. She's the one charged with the crime. It's a big difference. Nobody else has been charged with that crime. Like, I tell you, blaming a bunch of innocent people is harming other people and not seeming to give a shit is a bigger problem for me. She could have told Turtle Boy to stop at any point and that she does not agree with him going after people or harassing people, and she has yet to do that. Why do you think that is? I do think that trial will be different. I am leaving in just a few minutes, Jane. I'm giving you guys all the time I can, but I'm going to have to go soon because I have to go Easter shopping and I have to get this over with, and I'm dreading it, but I have to do it before my littles get home from school. This is definitely going to be a different trial. Let's remember that because we have a different special prosecutor, right? Like last time it was Adam Lally. This time it's Hank Brennan. Hank's got a little different way of doing things. He pays attention to a lot of detail. So, I think like that's where it's going to be. I can answer this question, Mike. As a matter of fact, we have a screenshot from Karen herself on Facebook in Turtle Boys groups saying that she has no idea where that rumor came from. She has no clue where the rumor of where all the blood came from because all the blood was underneath him. There was a ton of blood. Karen herself has debunked the where did all the blood go theory herself. So, there's, I mean, not only that, but the people who were there can tell you how much blood there. But Karen herself has debunked that theory by saying, I have no idea where people came up with the where did all the blood go. There was a ton of blood. So if you just go and look for that in Turtle Boy's Karen Reed group under her profile and look at all the comments that she's made, you should be able to find it where she says, I don't know where people got that from. Like, there was a ton of blood. Like, she had his blood all over her, remember? She made that statement very early on. I was covered in his blood. I was the only one trying to save her life. But as we know it now, she was not. Carrie was the one who did CPR. So she was not the only one trying to save his life, obviously. We are weary. We are weary, as we should be, but I can tell you that Tracy's good to go. She's not one of the people who are here to just stir trouble. Although I get why. Yeah, it is not fun, Jack. It's literally not. Like, literally. Oh, box fan. They actually have that on Amazon. If like literally, I kid you not. If you have Amazon Prime, there's one called Box Fan, and it's the sound of a box fan. Like, so if you don't have a box fan and you want to sleep with that sound, Amazon Prime has that sound for you. Like, they did. She did make sure her sister was okay. She went in the house. She went in the house. But you would have to personally first check on you're going to leave the person that's on the lawn first? First you handle the first situation, then you go in the house. You never know what you're going to step in when you go into that house, right? So if you're that worried, right, you're already calling 911. So they're on their way. You're dealing with the person that's right here first. Then you go into the house. One crisis at a time, dude. You can't deal with 5 crises at once. It was Facebook, she said that. It was on Facebook. CPAP machine. Yes, actually, one of the Bryans actually does have a CPAP machine. And funny enough, that CPAP machine takes a time of when it was turned on. What's brown noise? That helps with tinnitus? I've never heard of brown noise before. Karen is the accused, though, honey. Under the law, she is the accused. Like, no one else has been charged. So you can't really say she's being harmed because she's the one who's being accused by the state. She's been charged and indicted. Nobody else has been charged and indicted. And also, that's another thing. She knew John wasn't inside the house. She was in the house, obviously, the night before. She knew John was never in the house. Well, yeah, shock. And the fact that you're dealing with one thing at a time, right? Like, then you go in the house. And she does go in the house after. Like, you can deal with one thing at a time. Listen, most of the time I do it without the F word, but sometimes I drop some F bombs. It happens. It happens all the time. I do my best, but I cannot promise because once in a while an F bomb is warranted. Once in a while it is warranted. I do my best to not swear as much as I used to, but it sometimes is warranted. I got like 5 more minutes to give you guys, and I hate to leave you, but I love your stinking faces. Oh my God, I love that. I love you, Ashley. You're so funny. Well, no, she knew John wasn't in the house the night before. She was there, right? Like, and different people act in different ways. You can't always pin down the way someone's going to act. I promise you, because I'll tell you, like, I have CPTSD, and so my fight or flight, what people normally have is fight, flight, and freeze. My fight and flight and freeze is all fucked up because of my PTSD and CPTSD. So I don't freeze and I don't flight. I am always in survival fight mode. So if there's a house burning down, I'm running into it to make sure no one's inside. Like if there's a car, as we know from the car accident, in a ditch on the side of the highway, I'm jumping over people to try to make sure there's not somebody in there I need to pull out. When you should want to freeze or flight in dangerous situations, I don't. And that's because of my CPTSD. But that could be that anybody else with CPTSD could be stuck in freeze mode, right? Or they could be stuck in flight mode. Mine just happens to be a different way. Everybody's can be different. But my natural fight or flight instinct is all messed up now because I've always had to fight, essentially. And so it's forever altered in my brain chemistry. So yeah, she can't be harmed because she's on trial, because she's on trial. Like that's how it works. Yes, Brian Higgins. He has a CPAP. I didn't know if anybody knew which Brian, so I wasn't gonna say, but if Kevin already went over it, yes, it has a CPAP. Is a timestamp on what time it was on. So yeah. Well, that's another thing. If you're going to look at timestamps of things, right? Like you gotta like all the assumptions that these people did anything wrong are just that they're assumptions. The federal government found nothing and no evidence of that, and so did the audit that there was no tampering of evidence or anything like that. Like, how many more people need to tell you that these people didn't do anything wrong? And I promise you, the federal government had a lot more than what the state police have. A lot more, like a lot more. Like, yeah, Ashley is waiting outside. I told her to come in, but she's not listening. Probably someone climbing the stairs. I don't blame her. I don't like to climb the stairs either. Like, well, that's the other thing. Like, she could have told him to stop at any point, and she hasn't. And that really gets me. Like, really gets me. Like, that's nice, Luna. I like that. See, we can totally all get along as long as like you don't come here and try to troll. And I get my chat is very protective, and it's because some people will come in and act like they want to ask questions, but then ask the same question 72 times after they've already gotten the answer just to troll, or then go into insults after a short period of time. So like I love you guys for being so protective of me, because I'm just as protective of you guys. But I will always tell you if I know someone is good or not. If I don't know, I don't know. But if I do, I do. Well, I mean, that's the thing. I have sisters, and I'd want to know she was okay, but I have to deal with the person that's laying on the ground first, right? Like one thing at a time. You got a person on the ground not responding, and you're the one on the phone with 911. So you can't just stop that. And and you want those people to come, because if there's something dangerous inside that house, dude, I don't want to go in alone, right? Right. You want the people, the first responders and the police to come, right? Like, that would be the smart thing to do, at least. Well, that's the thing, right? Different people, different ways of dealing with it. Believe me. It's not, and that's, they don't always respond how we expect. We know that. Like, we do know that. Right? We're gonna have to go on another one of those trips with Deity. Yes, you can actually scroll back. Some people actually don't know that. You can scroll back and see what was said in chat if you just like scroll, put your finger. If you're using your phone, you can put your finger on like the little scroll thing and go up. If you're on a computer, you can click there's like a little up button and a little down button. I know. I try not to. I try not to. I do. You guys, I try not to swear. I try really, really hard. Sometimes I let an F-bomb or two fly. I'm sorry. Like, I apologize. I apologize. Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of information. I don't mind answering questions. I'll answer them until the cows come home. If I had a ton more time, I would just keep answering them. You know what I mean? Like, I have no problem answering questions. We all know that. Like, I like to give the information now, or have direct people to where they can go look for it themselves. Like, listen, I'll tell you, when people say you're not supposed to be calm, I am now calm. Why? Because I had a sister. I have a sister with epilepsy, and I have a sister-in-law with Down syndrome. But with my sister with epilepsy, she's been having grand mal seizures. What they've renamed them. They're not even called grand mal anymore, but grand mal seizures since she was a baby. So there's been many times that I have been on the phone with 911. There's been many times that I have saved somebody from an overdose. So now when an emergency like that happens, I'm extremely calm, because I know that remaining calm is the best thing that I can do for anyone. And so because I've been through a scenario like that before, I'm extremely calm. So I guess one could say like, oh, you're suspicious because you're calm, but it's because I've been through situations like that before. Like, you know what I mean? So also, if you've worked in medical or anything like that, like if you had kids that have ever been through like, being intubated or anything crazy like that, or a loved one, like, and you've emergency like that, like, you tend to be more calm the second or the third, or you know what I'm saying? Like, tend to be calmer as time goes, because freaking out isn't going to help anyone. So like, I'm calmer now. Like, when stuff like that happens, when everybody else should be freaking out. I had a neighbor knocking on my door. Her daughter was having a seizure, and she came pounding at my door with her kid was only like 3 at the time. And I knew exactly what to do. We called 911, but I knew exactly what to do. And my husband's like, "You're always so calm when stuff like this happens." And it's like, because I've done this before. You know what I mean? Like maybe not this exact scenario, but like what's freaking out gonna do? And it's just it kind of just I automatically do it, you know. But again, my fight or flight's all fucked up. Part of that too with my PTSD, you know. Oh, I punch in my sleep too. It's from the night terrors, but I do too. Right? Superwoman PTSD. I just especially if you try to wake me up. That's like, you know, you don't want to be doing all that. Like you don't be doing all don't be waking up cranky people that don't sleep very well. Like thank you, Tracy. I appreciate you, my friend. And I love my little crotch goblins. They are my little world. I freaking love them. Yeah, we weren't in an accident. We stopped for someone who was flagging people down on the side of the highway. There was a guy flagging people down. Nobody stopped. We stopped. Oh, don't say listen, you message me anytime today that you need somebody to talk to or vent to or cry to or whatever. Okay. You even if it's on Discord and you go on Discord and you DM me personally, like you reach out if you're having a hard day. You're not alone. There are plenty of us here for you. Don't suffer in silence, dude. Don't do it. Believe me. Been there, done that. I still do it to myself sometimes. Like, don't do it. You're better off getting support than suffering alone. Listen, that's okay. That's normal. That's totally normal for people to actually have those. Like, it's totally normal. Mine just my brain doesn't work that way anymore, unfortunately. Like, yeah, girl, you got to put them groceries away. Like, because it's a pedestrian accident, not a car accident. Not a car in a car accident. It's a pedestrian accident that ended in fatality. It's a little bit different than doing an accident report for a car bumping into a car. Right? I just pocket dial you guys for the drive. It's fine. The shock and horror. Well, I mean, they're not wrong, and a lot of people do that, but, like, the auditors also said that there's no, like, you're pointing out one piece that where they said that it's I don't think they said it's okay to drink and drive. I think that they said that that's not abnormal, which it isn't. Um, I don't know. That's the you know, it's a weird one for sure. I don't know why anybody would act like pleading the fifth is any sort of win because he gets to be in the courtroom, I guess. I don't know. Like, still can't be there with the witnesses that he harassed because they have stay away orders, so he can't be there for that. Um, no, I think he's talking about Karen's car, Ash. Yeah, girl, don't. If you need us, we're here. Don't suffer in silence, my friend. Don't do it. And that goes for anyone, any one of you. I don't care if you're FKR or not. Like, don't suffer in silence, dude. If you need somebody to just listen while you scream, throw things, cry, vent, you just want to laugh, you want to talk about something else to get your mind off it, like don't suffer in silence. I'll always answer. Reach out, if not to me, to someone else. No hiding allowed. You don't get to hide. She did say that. You are right. Here's the problem with that though, Luna, is the drinking and driving that they're talking about when it comes to Michael Proctor and Kevin Albert, they were on a assignment that was down in the Cape. They were staying overnight there and they were off duty by the time they went out and had dinner and drinks. And they're required to take the vehicle they took. So unless they're magically allowed to take their own vehicle and have a couple drinks at dinner and drive back to the hotel, I don't see why an officer who's no longer on duty, who's going to get dinner, you can't keep them on duty 24/7. They can't be on duty 24/7 just because they're working a case down the Cape. Like once they're done for the day, they have the right to go get something to eat and have something to drink and go back to their hotel. Like if we expected that all officers never do that, I mean, that would be ridiculous. And I think that's kind of the point, right? Like, hey, Willow. All right. I love you guys. I love your stinking faces. Yeah, we're here, Anna, if you need us. Who said you're ignoring? Oh, you got to watch it. You have to though. You have to. I mean, all right, I get that, Tracy. But remember that some of the things she said in that documentary are going to be brought into the trial. Just remember that, because some of the statements that she made are very inconsistent with some of the statements that she's made prior. So those are going to be brought into the trial. So, I mean, if you want to watch it as a new jury, I totally understand that and I totally get that. But I would suggest watching the documentary just because you're already at a point where you know more things than a jury coming in do. So there's no way to actually watch it as a unbiased juror because you already know things that the jury's not going to ever know. So it's kind of like, meh. I mean, it's a toss up. But if I were you, I'd watch the documentary to just get a better idea of like what was said and in what context. Don't let other people tell you. Watch it for yourself. I don't even have to tell you. Just watch it for yourself. All right. I am not. I'm just a normal human. That's it. Just a human. Just a human. Just a human. I try to be kind to everybody because I want to treat people the way I want to be treated. And I've been harassed by that FKR mob since 2023 every single day of my life. And it's deplorable and it's disgusting. And nobody should have to deal with that, especially just not for asking questions or believing something different. And so to be fair, like I won't treat other people that way, you know? All right. You're welcome, Jane. You're welcome. It was ID or Max. It's on if you have HBO Max, but it was on ID Discovery. Yeah, me either, Mike. I would have, taken my right to shut the hell up. Like it's probably not smart to do those, interviews and documentaries, but unfortunately she did. And so, you know, no, as long as you remain respectful, you're welcome here. Just make sure that like some of the things that you talk about, you check this information and don't just repeat things that like you've heard from FKR. Go and actually check. I even tell my audience, you don't have to listen to what I say. Go check the information. Make sure that you're not just listening to people online or in podcasts, not even me. Go and actually look at the information and confirm it for yourself. And with that, my lovely friends, I have to go get the shopping done because it's almost 12 and I got to be back here by 3. So I love your stinking faces so much. I promise to give you extra time tomorrow for my live stream tomorrow because I'm cutting you guys short by like an hour today or a little more than an hour. But I love your stinking faces. And if on the way out, you can hit the like button, the subscribe button. If you want to support the channel, help me. This is how you do so. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. I will see you guys in the morning. I'm always available in Discord. Anna or anybody else, if you need me, you can always get a hold of me either at twistedtragedies3@gmail.com. You can get a hold of me on my email or my PayPal. You can get a hold of me on X at Twisted Tragedy. I think it's Twisted Tragedy 3. And then also on Facebook. So, and Discord on regular DMs. So if anybody needs me, I'm here. Or reach out to someone else here. If you're having a hard day, don't suffer in silence, man. All right. Give everybody else the kindness that you would give yourself and others. And everybody try to do something nice for yourselves today, or maybe even just a stranger. Hold a door. Say they look nice. Say, give someone a hug. Let's get some good energy going. And then I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. I love your stinking faces. Bye.